Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's session of Qigong for balance, for health and balance. And we have today, for the fifth session, we have Tina Curran back with us, who is going to guide everyone through a little exercise and meditation. And without further ado, we'll turn over today's class to Tina.
Thank you, Steve. And hello, everyone. And I'm just going to spotlight my video. There we go. And yeah, we'll begin. I think maybe a few people are still arriving. There's one. But let's take a moment before we actually begin moving, or before we actually begin being still as well, to talk about safety, to be sure that you have a space to work in where you're not going to trip over anything, bump into anything, where you know what's around you, where you have water to drink, have a glass of water nearby to stay hydrated. If you need something to help you with balance, sometimes we do stand on one leg at a time. And if you feel that you will need something when we do that, or at any point, if you'd like the support, know that you can reach out and simply touch a table, the back of a chair, a wall, and that you can still work with your own balance if you can do that sometimes without even leaning. And take care of yourself. And this class can be done seated. If you are doing it seated, please text me and let me know, or tell me, so that I can give you any modifications you might need to do this work in a chair. The other thing I want to say is that you can always rest. Tai Chi and Qigong are ways of tuning into ourselves, and not about making ourselves stronger, or they're very different from much Western exercise, in that we're actually observing where we actually are at and freeing ourselves in those places where we're holding. And that will make us stronger, of course. So I'd like to light a candle to offer the energy of our work today for all beings, for the benefit of all. If I could get a match lit. There we go. And let's begin. So let's just stand, be present in your space at this moment in time. I feel like that I might need a little more light. Can you all see me okay? The image looks dimmer than usual. Can everybody see okay? Yeah, okay. We're going to stand with our feet about as far apart as our shoulders. And I'd like you to just take a moment to be aware of your breath. Where's your breath coming in right now? What moves with the inhalation? Maybe it's your shoulders. Maybe it's your chest and belly. And as we work with this through this hour, we want to allow our breath to go down, come in lower and lower in the body. If your thumbs are in your navel, your pointer fingers are actually touching the area of your body we call the dantian, deep in the belly. And when you breathe deep in your belly into the dantian, you naturally pull down the big muscle of the diaphragm and open the lungs and the chest. And you naturally rest in this area, this dantian, which is our center of motion, our center of gravity. Let your knees soften. Let your feet soften. You'll actually begin to feel the breath in the belly, moving the hands very gently. And we also talk in this class about remembering that the center of the top of the head, what was once your soft spot, your fontanelle, sort of towards the back, the Niwan point in Chinese medicine, wants to be the highest point in your body. As we move, as we stand still. So you'll feel when you find that place that the chin will relax forward just a bit. And the vertebrae of the back of the neck will elongate. In fact, all the vertebrae of the spine can elongate and hang down from the base of your skull. Feeling your pelvis as the big heavy pearl at the bottom of the string. Letting all those joints soften, the joints of the hips, the knees, the ankles, the many little joints of the feet. And let's move from the dantian. Let's turn the hips, feeling how the whole torso moves as one. We're not really shifting the weight yet, but you might feel how the arms are moved by the movement of the body. And let's let this turn of the hips bring up first the left arm and then the right. And our first position in our Qigong always is this one, embracing the Tao. We begin with this and two other exercises, and we end with the same in the reverse order. Feeling this moment of embrace, of opening, of welcome. And what do we mean by Tao? That Chinese word, that Chinese concept. You can think of it as all. You're embracing all that is. You're welcoming and accepting all that is. Doesn't mean you don't want to change any of it, but nothing will change until we really recognize it. Allow each breath into the dantian to be a breath of embrace. Feel that the heart-mind, your heart, your mind, rest in the dantian. Feel the softness of your arms. There's no muscle effort in holding them up. They're being held by the breath and by the dantian. If you notice that you're straining or there's effort in one or the other arm, can you let that go with the breath? Or if you need to, you can allow the arm to gently be brought down by the dantian and brought back up again. And feel this feeling of embrace, of welcome, and of openness for yourself. Acceptance for yourself. And imagine or feel how that can spread from your body out to the space around you, out to the people around you. And then spread from there with your breath to the planet, to all the beings on our planet. A sphere of welcome and acceptance with its center in your dantian. And let your sphere grow as it will, maybe to hold the sun, maybe to hold our galaxy, maybe to reach out to the billions of galaxies that we know of. Let your awareness reach as far as it's ready to. And then beyond that, always though, with its center in your dantian, always with your feet on the earth. And bring that sphere of awareness back. Bring it back to our galaxy and our planet and back to your body. Bringing that beneficent energy that you've reached towards back to our planet and our bodies. And then you can let your arms float down, almost as though the room were full of water. And we're going to breathe the arms, still with no effort. We're going to breathe them up with the inhalation. You might feel that the arms are floating up through water now, but then the elbows grow heavy, and with the exhalation, they draw the hands in and down. You might notice the joints, the muscles, the bones that are moving now. Feel the muscles smooth and soft. And the joints you can imagine as empty space between the bones. Are your knees still soft? Are your feet still listening to the earth? And is your head top still held up to the heavens? We use that word still to imply something that's ongoing. And there's also the feeling of being still. Right now, can you feel the stillness within this movement? The stillness within the breath. The stillness within the movement of the arms. And we also have an internal, or internal in a different way, focus with this breath. We imagine a point of energy that travels up the spine, through the center of the top of the head, down through where your tongue rests on the roof of the mouth, down the front of your body. It's a circuit of energy that reconnects to itself at the end of each exhalation. That's always there. We're not making this, we're following it with our awareness. We're allowing it to be unblocked where it's gotten stuck, or to release where it's been held. And to allow this energy to radiate out from this circuit to every part of us. Let's do 3 more breaths, following that circuit of healing, vitalizing, and calming energy within ourselves. Tracing it with your imagination and your awareness. Okay. So we're going to move to the third of our regular exercises. This one is the constant bear and looking owl. And we're going to stand with the feet a little wider apart than our shoulders or hips. We're going to be shifting the weight and turning the hips. Or should I say turning from the hips? And because we're a constant bear, we're holding a ball to play with. And feel those feet, feel those bones of the feet spreading and listening to the energy of the earth. Feel the listening when all the weight goes into one foot. The other foot adheres, doesn't roll, doesn't move. Or should I say the other paw? We're inhaling one way and exhaling the other. It's still the breath and the dantian that make the movement. And it's the dantian's movement and the movement of the body that turns over the ball. Feel the heaviness of the bear in your body. The heavy, heavy bones. Feel how your sit bones and tailbone hang down to the earth. And feel the softness and fluidity of the muscles. Of the flesh of the body. Full of chi, full of life, full of vitality or vital energy. And on our heads is the little looking owl, reminding us of our connection to the heavens, reminding us maybe of our wisdom, and reminding us to relax our eyes and relax our gaze. Feel your gaze soften and your eyes, your eyebrows, your eyelids, feel it soften. Simply allow your eyes to travel along the horizon line. Quite a long way, we're turning from one side to the other. You may observe that your soft gaze actually sees so much more. We're not looking at the hands, but we see the hand. And as we do this, you may really begin to feel chi moving in your body. You may feel energy in a place you hadn't noticed before. How about right now, your hands? Do you feel the chi that we're gathering from the air and from our motions and our movements, from our breath? Can you feel that between your hands? Do your hands feel a little tingly or alive? And let's rest. How about your hands? Do they feel a little different? Do they look a little different? Maybe pinker? So we're going to utilize the energy of the chi we've been gathering for healing on our own bodies. So choose a place, one place on your body, and bring one or both palms to that place. It can be anywhere that calls to you. I might go to my right hip. And allow the palm to simply rest and bring attention and presence to the area you chose. Probably an area that hurts or hurts sometimes. We're not doing any kind of Western massage of manipulating muscles or moving or even anything active. Rather, we think of the palm as listening. Let yourself listen to the part of the body you've chosen. Feel your palm present, full of attention, not rubbing, just listening. And remember that you can do this Tai Chi touch, listening to what hurts, anytime. You don't have to be in the middle of a Tai Chi class to be doing this. You hurt your finger when you're gardening, hold that finger. So we also do a number of more formal self massages in this class. And I would like to do right now, I'd like to do something a little different, which is work with our hands themselves. So allow one hand to simply stroke and hold the other. That same idea, almost as though you're holding a baby. This is with a stroke though. Allow the hand that is moving to listen. I'm not saying that you can't allow both hands to listen to each other, but feel that one hand is the baby. My Tai Chi teacher, Patrick Watson, who was a student of Professor Chang Nanxing and who founded the Tai Chi Foundation, where I teach regularly, he used to tell us whenever we were sitting and listening to him or anyone talk, to allow our hands to rest on our laps. I don't have a chair handy to show you this, but say it is, and just stroke them as we listened, allowing gravity, with palm up, allowing gravity to loosen and uncurl the fingers. So let's move to the other hand now. And you can do that. You can stroke right out to the ends of the fingers, allowing gravity to uncurl. And also you can listen to that hand. And you can turn the hand over and do the back, right from the wrist down to the ends of the fingers. Feeling the aliveness in both hands. All right. So we're going to now use these wonderful alive hands that we've brought energy to from within our movements and also from stroking each other. And we're going to do our chest stroke, which is 49 downward strokes from the collarbone straight down over the sternum. Count for yourselves. Remember that you can always do fewer than the recommended number, but don't do more. This is wonderfully healing for the digestion, the earth element in us, allowing food that we take in to go down, to be digested and transformed into energy. And in another sense, allowing anything we take in, feelings, knowledge, to go down, to be digested and transformed into energy for our lives. This movement is also healing for the lungs, helping the lungs to expel with each exhalation what we don't need, to protect us from viruses, germs, anything, toxins in the air. And it's also healing for the heart, the fire element in us. This is a soothing movement for the heart. So your hands, as they stroke, are listening to all those wonderful parts of you inside your chest, inside your treasure chest. I've completely lost count, so I'm just watching you all to see when you're finished. Okay, so we're going to do a movement that some of us have done as a part of our wood element, but I'd like to look at it today in a different way. We call it sculling in the Tai Chi school, and I'm going to show you a photograph. Can you all see that on your screen? This is a photograph of a boat in China, a kind of Chinese boat called a sampan, I think. And someone's waiting to be admitted. I guess she's in. And you can see that the boat is propelled by this oar that goes across the boat and then dips into the water on the other side. The great illustration of what we're doing when we do this movement. Sculling, which we've also talked about as being like the growth of a tree. But you can see how his hands are resting on the oar, and it's actually the movement of his body that moves the oar through the water. Do you see how all his weight is in his back leg? He's going to shift his body, and that's how he's going to move that oar rather than leaning on it. Got it? So, okay, I'm going to stop the photo now, and we're going to do a movement where we call it sculling because it's like that guy on the boat. Okay, so we're going to start with our feet in our bare width, a little wider than our shoulders. We're going to shift all the weight to one leg. You can mirror me or follow me. I'm going to go to my right leg. Allow the dantian to open the other leg just to about 1 o'clock. I mean, the other foot. It slides along the floor as the hands come up in front of the shoulders. So these hands are now holding that oar. And the oar goes across the boat and dips down into the water. All the weight's on that back leg. Feel the arms relaxed. And as we shift forward, we're going to be moving that heavy oar. The part goes through the water, but the arms stay completely relaxed, and the work is done by the dantian and the shift of the weight. And then we shift back, allowing the oar to come back to its natural place. It just follows the hands. And shift forward again. The power stroke, moving the oar through the water, and of course moving the boat. This is from Professor Chang's 8 ways of movements he developed to enclose and and include all the real principles of the Tai Chi form. And of course, this is a movement from the Tai Chi form, the push of no push. Feel your arms completely relaxed and moved by the body. They move away a little bit and up a little bit as we go forward. And they sink back down as we come back. Let's add an awareness of the breath, inhaling the power stroke and exhaling as we come back. This time when you reach your forward shift, be aware that you have about 2/3 of the weight over the left leg, most of the weight, and that the back hip and knee are relaxed. Then let's exhale back. And maybe we'll give that leg a break as the boat is turning through a curve in the river. So stay in your back foot and let the body close that front foot so the feet are parallel. And then shift over the other foot and open the first foot. And here we are going a slightly different direction. Maybe you see the birds flying over the water around your boat. Maybe you taste the moisture in the air as you inhale forward. And you feel the feet spreading and listening and relaxing on the wooden deck. Feel how the arms are moved only by the body. You may find a way to include this way of being and move with your arms moved by the body in your daily life. Pushing a door open, moving something heavy. The arms stay soft. The work comes from the dantian. And let's rest. Anybody have any questions about that movement? I forgot to say to you all that if you do have questions, you can interrupt me at any time. Better to ask the question when we're learning the movement. But do you have any now? No, nobody? Everybody okay? Beverly?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. I lost balance a little bit. I'm wearing just socks and I sort of losing my balance as I move back and forth. I have a chair. I have a chair near me, so I'm okay.
Okay, you're not going to fall or anything. But you're asking just for any advice about that. Yeah, I would say, you know, this is a really good training in strengthening balance. And yes, I'm going to move a chair over here just so I could see how I would do it with a chair. Because we go from one side to the other, that's what I'm just trying to figure. But let me see. So here I go. Yeah, I think I would just allow myself to touch the chair with one arm or the other as I go. But knowing that it's there, you can also do this sitting, but that's not your question, so I'm not going to go into that right now. If you were sitting, you would be going from one sit bone to the other rather than one foot to the other. But the thing I think I really want to say to you is go slow with it and see if you can actually feel the foot that is feeling shaky, spreading out on the floor and softening and listening. That would be my cue to going within the movement deeper to look for balance. And that might be exactly what the foot doesn't want. It might be exactly what the foot doesn't want to do. It may be resisting that. So
Okay.
gently, 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 gently.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
Tina,
Okay.
I have a couple of questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can't see you though. Who is this?
It's Benny. I'll
Hi,
put my
Benny.
hand up, then maybe you can see me. Can you see me?
Oh yeah, okay. Yes, I can. I just couldn't see that you were talking. Yes.
Okay. You say it's the push of no push. So is there
Yes.
no muscular movement at all? It's just the angle of the body changing.
You know, this is the mystery of Tai Chi, right?
Yeah.
You may have heard the phrase Wu Wei, the action of non-action.
Yeah.
You know, yes, there is muscular movement, but there is not muscular tension.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
I would say that is an exploration that each of us needs to make, is
Right.
to find that more and more in ourselves.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you know, you've heard those stories about someone who's well, I heard the story long ago, maybe before your time. Someone whose child was pinned somehow under something very heavy, and the mother just like picked it up. You know, it was a car or something. That is movement, like the power from the Dantian of movement with no tension and no thought. But yeah, not that I'm saying you should go around trying to pick up heavy things. That's not the point. The point is that we have more strength than we realize, and we block it with our tension instead of, you know.
Okay. Now, when you're moving your arms, do the shoulders get engaged at all? Do they raise at all, or do they stay uninvolved?
I would say they stay relaxed.
But
they are involved because the whole body is involved, but they are no more straining than any other part of the body. They're relaxed.
So they stay in position and don't raise at all.
Yeah, but I don't want to say they stay in position, because everything in the body is always moving. So it's not you're holding them rigid, but you're finding more and more relaxation in it. Right now, when I look at you, Benny, I would say relax your elbows.
All right. Okay.
Soften. Yeah.
Okay, I hadn't thought of
you know,
that.
it's a lifelong exploration. So I'm glad you had those questions, though. Those are very good questions. And in fact, I'm going to, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I understand then that there's a kind of wave that goes through the shoulders. Is that right? A gentle, tiny, imperceptible wave. Does that go through the feet as well? Do the heels and the toes slightly come up?
No, the heels, the feet want to remain in contact with the floor always.
Oh, okay.
Even when we're opening the foot, we slide it along the floor. We're not allowing the feet to roll or come up.
Okay.
So I'm going to say, let's move it back into the realm of our bodies now. You've raised some really interesting questions, and let's all explore what that feels like in our bodies. We're just going to do a little more of this. We're going to, and really just a little more, because I do want to do one other movement thing today. We're going to start in our bear width, shift over one leg, let the Dantian open the empty foot by sliding it along the floor, and the hands have come up to the shoulders. And even in this moment, before we begin, feel the shoulders relaxed. Feel the elbows hanging with gravity, and the hands relaxed. And now bring your attention back to the Dantian as the weight shifts forward. When we reach that 70% point, the arms have extended a bit, but the elbows are still relaxed and the shoulders are still relaxed. They're not the same position exactly. They've moved. Let's go back to the awareness of the breath. Exhaling as we go back and inhaling. And letting that inhalation and forward movement bring the arms forward and bring the weight forward. We're back on our boat. Feel the heaviness of the wooden oar crossing over both hands. Let's do one more shift forward. And this time we're going to turn. So shift back, close that front foot, shift over it, and open in a new direction. Feeling that inhalation as what brings the arms forward. And looking for what you can relax in your body. Is it your shoulders? Can they soften as you're coming back and as you're moving forward? Let it be the dantian that brings the body forward. Feel how the hips stay soft and the knees. Let's do one more. And then gently come out of the position. All right, so let me see how we're doing for time here. All right, I want to do one more of the 8 ways. We're going, this is one is fun. We're going to imagine that the room we're in is a frozen pond. And it's funny because it's kind of cold out here today for a spring day. And we're going to be walking across the ice. Now, I mean, you can, if this in any way scares you, walk along the edge of a table or the wall too. If the thought of ice in any way disturbs you. But I like to imagine that this is a frozen pond. I used to love the idea of ice skating as a kid. I grew up in a very urban place where we didn't get to ice skate, but and maybe why would you be walking across the frozen pond? Maybe your friend is over there on the other side. So you're going to just very carefully walk across this pond. It's not very wide. So you're standing by the edge, you're standing on the bank, and we're going to step down onto the ice very carefully, right? 1 foot at a time, heel toe, and shift the weight into that empty foot slowly, slowly, slowly. You want to be sure that that foot stays flat and that the back foot coming off the bank peels up without pushing off. And now we're going to step so we have both feet on the ice. Heel toe, empty. Shift the weight. Still breathing. What's happening with that back foot peeling up? Is it getting completely empty all the way to the tip of the toe before it lifts? How about your arms? Are they soft and relaxed? And your back? And is your head on straight? Because the tipping of the head could knock us right over, couldn't it? Shift the weight ever so slowly. Peel up that back foot ever so slowly. Maybe you hear a little creak as you're almost all the way in that foot, and so you have to lay that back foot down again and shift back into it. And then pick up that front foot and step somewhere else. Heel toe, empty, and then slowly shift the weight. The relaxed gaze can really help you here and help you with your balance. in general. Are you breathing? Are you breathing into the dantian? Okay, I think I disappeared from the camera. Sorry about that. How's everybody doing? Okay. Did you get to the other side and step up?
It's very hard for me.
Ah, Beverly?
Yeah, I had to hold on. That's very hard for me.
Well, you know, that's a good thing that you did hold on. And I want to say that to everyone. This is a great movement or a great imaginative exercise if you're really having issues with your balance. And particularly, I advise walking along a wall with one hand on a wall or on a table so that you can really feel each foot as it empties and as you set the other foot down empty. Beverly, you said you had to hold on. I want to encourage you to remember that sometimes simply holding or touching rather than grasping will help you with the balance to continue with the exercise. I don't know if you have just a chair. Even if you have a chair, you can walk around the chair so you can keep moving. Does that make sense?
Tina, I have another question. When you're putting the weight into your foot, is the force downwards at right angles to the ground, or is it at a slight angle? Is that right?
I would say it's straight down. Straight down.
And is
You
the
know, think.
Is the
Go ahead.
dantian above the foot, or is it back a bit as you put the weight?
Well, you know, think about it. That as you move your body, the relationship, the geometrical relationship of the dantian to the foot is changing. So when you have all the weight over one foot, the dantian is pretty much above the foot. But as you shift into the other foot, the relationship is changing. So but yes, just think of the weight as going straight down towards. Think of it as going towards the center of the earth.
Yes, I was just thinking
That's what
that.
I like.
So it's like
That
a
helps
kind of
me.
pendulum that goes towards the center of the earth. Is it?
That is a good way to look at it. There's so many ways you can look
Okay.
at it. So
Right. I'm having trouble
all
walking.
right.
It's really helpful. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad that some of you are really utilizing this. And Beverly, I hope that you will also experiment with it without taking, you know, without in any way feeling that you're putting yourself in any danger. That's the most important thing. Stay safe. But use I really do like walking along something long when we're doing this particular exercise so that you can move or around a chair, not just staying in one spot. So good, some good questions today. And also, I'm watching you, Benny, and I just want to advise you all, remember that your eyes are really an important part of feeling your balance.
Okay.
Your gaze. You don't need to look at your feet or even look at the place where your foot is about to go. Your relaxed gaze will see that. And your dantian. Think of your dantian as watching for you.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you look somewhere else either. It just means your gaze stays soft and relaxed.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Let's move on. I was going to do knee circles, and does everyone have a chair that you can access easily?
Yep.
Quickly. Okay, so let's go to our knee circles before we end the hour. And I do advise that you sit in a chair that's hard and straight if you can. You can do this on a couch if you need to. And when we do almost any meditation or sitting in a straight chair, we like to be sort of towards the edge. So in other words, that we're not slouching back, but really solidly on the chair. Sit bones solidly on the chair so that there's no way that if you need to lean forward that you're going to tip out of the chair. And these are the knee circles. We've done them before. We begin with the hands resting on the thighs. And the mnemonic device to help you remember is both hands begin down the inside. The palms are circling the kneecaps, that little silver dollar sized bone. We're going to do 49 of these circles. You're going to count for yourselves. Every part of the body stays relaxed. And keep breathing. You can allow the palms to listen to the joint, the whole knee joint, that complex place where 4 bones come together. The big thigh bone, the 2 calf bones, the tibia and fibula, and then the little patella, shaped like a silver dollar. And we're circling the patella, but we're touching all those bones and all those joints, or that one big joint. If you do find that you need to lean forward with the bottom of the circle, that's fine. Let the lean come as much as possible from your tailbone rather than from your shoulders slumping. Bringing this vitality, this healing chi to this joint, to that big empty space between all those bones. Remember that we're holding these joints as though they were our babies. Okay, looks like people see everyone finish up, and we'll end with our 3. As you're ready, you can stand. Carefully move your chair out of the way. And we'll just repeat our 3 earlier movements in the opposite order as you would do if you're doing these as a daily routine. You begin in the morning with the Tao, the yin yang, and then the bear. And before bed at night, you'll do them the order we're doing now, the wrap-up order. And remember that the constant bear and the yin yang breath, I find both are wonderful reset buttons during the day. ways of changing your energy, bringing relaxation or alertness when needed. And at night before bed, a good way to let go of the day, let go of what's on your mind, and go back to your body, back to the breath in the dantian. Back to your connection to the earth and the heavens. And rest. Somebody wants to be admitted. A little late. Okay. So let's move on to our yin yang breath. Soft feet listening to the earth, and the breath moving the arms. Head top lifted to the heavens. Breath into the dantian. This is a great movement. Again, another reset button for any time of day. And also a way of working with any tensions in the arms. Of simply going with the basics of this movement, that it is the breath that lifts the arms and the breath that brings them in and down. You can allow each breath in our work to be like an explorer, exploring your inner world, discovering where you're holding. Maybe accepting it and then letting it go when it's ready. Onion peel layer by onion peel layer. Let's do 2 more breaths. And then let the dantian bring the arms up to embrace the Tao. When you're doing this before bed at night, you can remember the other way of looking at what the Tao is, that it is not just all, but it is each of our way through life, through all that is. It's your own path and your own way. So you have this moment to embrace and accept yourself. Okay. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for coming. We have one more of these classes next week, okay? Hope to see you all there.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, everyone, for zooming in, and we will see you again next week. Till then,
Thank you, Stephen.
have a great week ahead and weekend, and we'll see you again.
Thank you so much.